Hare Krishna, a very warm welcome to all the devotees to our program on Shloka Memorization Workshop. This program is part of our Srimad Bhagavatam study program. In Srimad Bhagavatam study, we are doing a systematic study of Srimad Bhagavatam starting from Canto 1. We have finished Canto 1. Now we are studying Canto number 2. But together with Srimad Bhagavatam study, we are also encouraging devotees and helping devotees to learn and memorize the important shlokas that are there in Srimad Bhagavatam. The idea is that Srimad Bhagavatam is a poetry, and any work of poetry can be relished even much more if you are able to sing it, if you are able to recite it nicely. And since this is written in Sanskrit and not many people are aware of Sanskrit, we want to help them to understand the Sanskrit, recognize the various chandas, meters, so that it gives them the ability to recite and sing Srimad Bhagavatam. So that although the philosophical knowledge of Srimad Bhagavatam is already there, but when we are able to sing it, it becomes even more beautiful. So today is our 18th class overall on the workshop. Today we are going to discuss the 12th verse of the 5th chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So let us start with a small Mangalacharan prayer. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Okay, so we now come to the verse number 12. I have copy pasted it from the Veda base just for if we need any help. And in the beginning of the class, I checked and noted that Rajni Sharma ji has learned this verse and will be willing to recite the verse before the class. And let me check with Rakesh ji. Welcome to the class. Have you memorized the verse? Okay, maybe we'll check with him later. Sunita Prakash Mataji, a very warm welcome. Okay, so Hare Krishna Mataji. So we first of all give the opportunity.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I will try.
Hare Krishna. Oh, you will also try. Thank you very much, Prabhu. So we will first of all give the opportunity to Rajni Sharma ji to recite the verse. Prabhuji, I am going to remove the verse from the screen which is in front of you, so that if possible you can try reciting without any help, external help.
प्रभुजी याद नहीं हुआ है.
अच्छा, कोई बात नहीं, थोड़ा ट्राई कीजिए, कोशिश कीजिए.
मैं वैसे देख के पढ़ देता हूँ.
अच्छा, कोई बात नहीं, आप देख के पढ़ लीजिए.
मेरे पास है, बुकलेट है.
जी जी.
नैष्कर्म्यमप्युत भावर्जितं नैष्कर्म्यमप्युत भावर्जितं नाशोभते ज्ञानमलं निरञ्जनं शश्वद भद्रमीश्वरे नाचार्पितं कर्म यदप्य कारणम्.
Very nice. Your recitation is very beautiful, Prabhu. Very nice. You are able to read Sanskrit very fluently, and recitation is also very melodious. Very nice. So if you are able to remember it, memorize it, it will even add more beauty to your recitation. So it will be a little more fluent.
I will give this.
Okay, right. So you can try it later on. But let us now give the opportunity to Rakesh ji. Rakesh ji, can you please recite the verse? Maybe switch on the camera so that everyone is able to also watch you while you are reciting.
नैष्कर्मस्य अपि अच्युत भाववर्जितं न शोभते ज्ञानम् अलम निरञ्जनम् कुत पुनः शश्वद अभद्रमीश्वरे न चार्पितं कर्म यदप्य कारणम्.
Sundar, Sundar. So I would like to clap for you for your valiant effort. Okay, only in the first line there was a little correction that might happen, but I will give you one more opportunity to recite it so that you are even more. I mean, let us see whether that mistake was just a passing mistake, or maybe you still remember it. Okay, please, Prabhu, once again.
नैष्कर्मस्य अपि अच्युत भाववर्जितं.
So it is not neshkarme asya. It is not neshkarme asya. It is neshkarme apya achyuta bhava varjitam.
अपि नहीं है प्रभु.
Neshkarme asya. You said asya.
नैष्कर्मे अपि.
Neshkarme apya achyuta.
नैष्कर्मे अपि अच्युत.
Api becomes
नैष्कर्मे अप्य अच्युतम भाववर्जितम.
after sandhi it becomes apya. After sandhi it becomes apya.
Yes, Prabhu. नैष्कर्म्यम अप्य अच्युते भाववर्जितम न शोभते ज्ञानम अलम निरंजनम. कुत पुनः शश्वद अभद्रमीश्वरे न चार्पितं कर्म यदप्य कारणम्.
Excellent, very nice. So very nice. Which meter is this? Can we just recognize? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
12
9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 12. So it could be either Vamshastha,
Jagati हो सकता है bro,
Jagati. Okay, we will have to explore this. It could be Jagati also, but let us not debate on that. Today we are more focusing on the memorization. Okay, now we come to the next part, which is explanation of the word meanings. So, would you like to try?
Prabhu, overall meaning I can try, Prabhu.
Okay, individual word meaning is a little difficult.
Yes, Prabhu. Nashkarmyam api achyuta bhava varjitam. Knowledge of self-realization, even without free of material affinity, is not considered well. Is not considered well. Nashobate jnanam alam niranjanam. Well, if it is devoid of conception of Lord Achyut.
Lord Krishna, correct. Okay.
Lord Krishna. Then what to speak of? Then what to speak of fruitive work? Fruitive work that always causes suffering.
Suffering, correct.
That always causes suffering if it is not offered to Lord.
The Lord. Correct.
Yes, sir.
Very nice. Very nice. So, would you like to give a little commentary on this, little explanation of what does it mean in Bhagavatam? What is trying to tell us? What is important for us in this verse?
This verse, Nashkarma, it is said Nashkarma, there are three types of karmas: Sakam karma, Nishkam karma, and Akarma.
Nashkarma, Akarma, correct.
Akarma, okay. That is, Akarma can also be said Nashkarma. Sakam karma is that karma which is attached to fruitive, which is
results.
Attached to fruitive results. And nishkam karma is
selfless work.
Selfless, that is not attached to fruitive results. And akarm, when there is no reaction.
When there is no
that
reaction.
Karma
Okay.
which causes no reaction.
Very
that
good.
is also called nashkarma, we can say. So there is difference between nishkam karma and nashkarma also.
Okay.
So in nishkam karma, we can understand with an example that a philanthropist is distributing food to the poor with all sincerity, that the benefactor will be benefited. Poor will be benefited, but there may be pride in that.
Involved.
Pride involved, that I may be offering food to these poor. But in nashkarmyam, it can be understood that a devotee is distributing prasadam to poor people with the feeling that it has come from the Lord. And the persons to whom it is distributed are children of the God, and he is also child of the God. So there is no pride involved. That is nashkarma.
Now here the nashkarma is different, because if you are distributing food considering with the feeling that it is come from the Lord, then it is not nashkarma. That is nashkarma, but with achyuta bhava. But with achyuta bhava.
It has come from the Lord.
Yeah, but with achyuta bhava. But here nashkarma actually is a knowledge of self-realization. Nashkarma is something like when we do some activity for the purpose of self-realization, for example, jnana, impersonal jnana, or like jnana yoga or dhyan yoga, that we do all the activities which are nashkarma. But if those activities, although they are very high activities, situated at a very elevated transcendental platform, it gives us the feeling of self-realization that we are not this body, we are spirit souls. It is a very elevated thing. Not many people are able to do it. It's a very elevated thing. But if it is achyuta bhava varjitam, it is devoid of the bhava of Lord Krishna, devoid of emotions of Lord Krishna or consciousness of Lord Krishna, then it is not good. It is not good. So that is actually nashkarma here being mentioned here. So the nashkarma that you are defining is actually with achyuta bhava. So that is not devoid. That is not rejected. That is accepted.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
now, okay, please continue. Please continue.
The message is generally the words from the Vedas. The words from the Vedas are itself not useful without bhakti.
Without bhakti, correct. The knowledge from the Vedas. Even if we have knowledge from the Vedas, if it is devoid of bhakti, it is useless.
It is useless. The main message is this.
That is the main message. Okay. Okay, nice. We will elaborate a little bit more, but let us give opportunity to. Let me check with Jayamala Mataji if you are if you have remembered it and willing to share, recite.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Mataji. Yes.
I'll try, Prabhu. Yes.
Okay, I will remove the slide. So please try reciting the words, explain the Sanskrit word meanings, and then give a little translation, followed by your understanding of the words. Okay, 3-4 things. Please. Looking forward.
Naishkarmyam apyachutat bhava varjitam na shobhate jnanamalam niranjanam Kota puna shashvat bhadram ishware na charpitam karma yadyapya karanam.
Excellent, excellent. Very nice. Very nice, Mataji. Okay. Now, please explain the different Sanskrit words and then uh, uh, assimilate all of that into a translation. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu. In this verse, Narad Muni is describing how bhakti is the only valuable asset, and jnana and karma without bhakti are fruitless. So the first word of this verse is naishkarmyam. It is synonymous with akarma, that is, those actions which do not bear any karmic reaction. Here, the particular type of naishkarmyam which has been mentioned here is with jnana, that is transcendental knowledge. And there is another mention of jnana malam niranjanam. That is, jnana is there is a conception of transcendence here, and there is also niranjanam, that is, it is devoid of any material affinity, that is, material designations. By and large, it is free of material affinity. So, this kind of naishkaryam is a high, no doubt it is of high standard, because it has a concept of transcendence in it. It does not have any material designations attached to it, and it is selfless action. But still, it says that if it is achyuta bhava varjitam, achyuta is another name of Sri Krishna, which means the infallible Lord. Bhava varjitam. Varjitam is devoid, devoid of of conception of Lord Achyuta. So such an naishkaryam which does not have any conception of Lord Krishna, it is done without any devotional aspect in it. Even such naishkaryam is fruitless. And the third and fourth sentence of the verse, it gives a contrast that if such a highly elevated concept of naishkaryam is rejected, then what to speak of sakama karma? Sakama karma means where it is a very low standard. Here we are attached to the work that we are performing with the expectation of fruit, and not only that, we are attached to the fruits also. So the nature of sakama karma here mentioned is shashvat abhadram. That is, shashvat means continuously, and abhadram means inauspicious. Meaning, such kind of fruitive work, sakam karma, is continuously, it will give you only suffering and pain. So what is the use of such sakama karma if you are not offering it? That is arpita. Na charpita karma yadyapya karanam. If you are not utilizing it, if you are not offering it to the Lord, then it is pretty much useless. So the summary, summary is, if we do naishkarmya but without keeping Krishna in the center, then it is rejected by the standards of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Very nice.
Yeah, hence, and also sakama karma, which is many lower in the rungs of the ladder, is automatically by default, it is also rejected.
Very
Thank
nice.
you,
Very
Prabhu.
nice.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So a very standing ovation to Jamala Mataji for giving a very nice class. Very fluent. The recitation was very nice. The explanation was very fluent with the rightly chosen words and so on. Except one place, I think you are mentioning it Nash Karyam, but it is Nash Karmyam, Nash Karma, Nash Karmyam. So it is not Nash Karyam, it is Nash Karmyam, Karma. So that is correct.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
so very nice. And let me now probably give opportunity to Anju Mataji, who also would like to probably say something about the verse. Mataji, will it be okay if you would like to, I mean, if you have not memorized it, you can recite it and then give a little explanation of the verse. That will be good enough. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Prabhuji. I'll just recite it. I'll just read and recite it, the verse.
Right. Okay.
So, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 5, Text 12. Neshkarmyamya, sorry. Neshkarmyamapi achyutta bhava varjitam na shobhati jnanamanam niranjanam. Kutah punah shashvadapatram ishwari na charpitam karma yadyapya karanam.
Excellent. Uttam. Very nice. Very melodious recitation. Very nice. Okay. So only thing is, Nashkarmyam api achyuta bhava varjitam. If you speak api, you may probably would like to speak it as Nashkarmyam apya. So api and achyuta, when the sandhi happens, then it becomes
Yes.
apyachuta. Yeah, very nice. Okay. So now if you would like to give a little explanation or maybe share us the word meanings of the Sanskrit words, if you are comfortable doing it, maybe we would like to hear.
Yeah, what all I have collected from Jaimala Mataji and Rakesh Prabhu. So it's Naishkarmyam. Naishkarmyam means self-realization. That is self-realization, which is free from the reactions of the fruitive work. So that's the Naishkarmyam. And then Apya Achyutam. Apya Achyutam. Achyut means infallible. And appear means appear also
Yeah.
appear also. Yeah. And bhav varjitam. Bhav means the conception. The bhav is the idea that
the consciousness of the Lord. Like we have Krishna Bhavana Amrit. Krishna
okay.
consciousness.
Okay.
So bhava varjitam.
Consciousness. Yes. So varjitam means not having, devoid of. Which so the nishkam karma, which is devoid of the knowledge, devoid of the bhav of Lord Krishna, without having without having without having inclination for the Lord, for serving the Lord. Is useless, is taken as of a useless activity. Then what to say about the fruitive work, the sakam karma, which which generally people do. So and sakam karma, which is also not arpitam, not offered to the Lord. Not offered to the Lord. So the sakam karma, or the fruitive work, which is not offered to the Lord, which is which is also very, very useless. So the bottom line is that we should avoid sakam karma, of course, but then we should also avoid neshkarmya, and instead of that, all our activities should be dovetailed towards the Lord, to serving of the Lord.
Correct. See, the bottom line is, without bhakti, everything is useless. Yes. Even if you do sakam karma, but there is bhakti in it, that is still useful.
Yes.
Sakam karma with bhakti means that you do sakam karma, you get some karma, you do some karma, but get some results. But you offer it, some part of that result, to the Lord. That becomes bhakti.
Okay.
Similarly, nashkarmyam. Nashkarmyam means those activities which we do for self-realization. Like in the process of Dhyan Yoga and Jnana Yoga. So in Jnana Yoga, what we do, we actually try to do, we are actually trying to look for transcendence. Transcendence means we are very much aware of this material world. We are very much aware of the cycle of birth and death in this material world. And we are willing to go away or come out from this cycle of death and birth. So that is transcendence. So we do some activities in Jnana Yoga and Dhyan Yoga mainly to transcend from this material world and go to some spiritual realm. So those activities are known as nashkarmyam. So nashkarmyam is different from nishkam karma. So Nashkarmya is different from Nishkam Karma. Nishkam Karma means the karma that we do without any desire for any fruitive result from it. Like Rakesh ji gave an example that somebody, a philanthropist, is distributing food to the people. He does not want any name, fame, prestige, any reward of that distribution, so that you can kind of classify it as Nishkam Karma. But Nishkam Karma is not necessarily meant for going to transcendence, to liberate ourselves from the cycle of birth and death. It is Nishkam Karma, without any without any self motive. It is a selfless work. But Nashkarmyam is those activities which we do for transcendence. So doing activities for transcendence is certainly much more at an elevated platform compared to Nishkam Karma. So here the discussion is going on that without bhakti everything is useless. So if you see previous verses means the verse number 10 and verse number 11. In those verses, Narad Muni is telling to Vyasadeva that literature without bhakti is useless. Literature without bhakti is useless. But literature, even with faults, but with bhakti, is much better, isn't it? So the point is, Mataji, or dear devotees, that in the previous two verses, what Narad Muni has telling to Vyasadeva is words, literature is useless without bhakti. Here in this verse number 12, he is further progressing on the discussion. He's saying that even work is also useless without bhakti. Now that work could be of various types. One type could be Nashkarmya. Nashkarmya means that activity which we do for self-realization, which we do for transcendence, that is also useless without bhakti. Then what to speak of? Kutaha punha shashwad abhadram ishvare. Kutaha punha. Then what to speak of? Kutaha punha means what to speak of? Sakam karma. Now nature of sakam karma is shashwad abhadram. Abhadram means it will only give pain. It will only give abhadrata. It will only give some difficulty. And shashwat means while we are doing sakam karma, then also we get difficulties. And when we get the result of sakam karma, that also we get difficulties. So sakam karma is typically in the mode of passion, where we want some result because of our activity. We are little selfish when we do sakam karma. So anything which is in mode of question actually is always full of difficulties. While we are doing that work, we feel difficulty. We have to do so much endeavor, so much effort, and when we get the result, that result is also does not provide us happiness. It will provide some difficulty. So kutaha punah shashwat abhadram ishvare na charpitam karma yadapya karanam. And then even if it is nishkam karma, akaranam means without any motive. Even if it is nishkam karma, then also but it is not offered to the Lord, na charpitam karma yadapya karanam, then also it is useless. So words are useless without bhakti, that we see in verse number 10 and 11. Even activity, work is also useless without bhakti, that we see in 5.12. And that work can be classified into three types. One is nashkarmya, then sakam karma, and then nishkam karma. So all kind of work is useless without bhakti. But if you add bhakti to it, then nashkarmya is very nice, sakam karma also becomes nice, and nishkam karma also becomes nice. Anything you add bhakti to it that connects you with the Lord automatically becomes nice. So that is the main purport and the meaning of this verse. So ultimately the context here is that Narad Muni wants to encourage Vyasadeva to write that literature which is full of bhakti of the Lord. Right now he's saying that you have written so many things, but that is devoid of bhakti. So what is the use? What is the use? And that is the reason why Srimad Bhagavatam has come to existence. That is the history of Srimad Bhagavatam. That is what is being discussed. So I hope this gives you a very nice context about the words. That is uh, a good, deeper understanding of each and every individual Sanskrit words. And now, if you remember it and meditate upon it, this is going to give you much more, I would say, spiritual nourishment. When you remember it, meditate upon it. Wow, such beautiful words, such nicely it has been composed. So the point is, you remember words and work. Word has been discouraged without bhakti in 10.5.10 and 11, and work has been discouraged. Work without bhakti has been discouraged in 5.12. So that is where we come here. So here you can see. So with this, we conclude our session, our class. I hope that was useful, and really appreciate to all the devotees who made an endeavor, whatever small, little or more, to remember this. So really appreciate that. Okay. Any questions you have? Any questions or doubts you have? Maybe we can take one or two. No, if there are no doubts and questions, we conclude our session today. All glories to Srimad Bhagavatam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much. We continue with our discussion next Sunday, the same time, maybe with another verse. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay, now we go to our next session. I will stop the recording for this session.